Hello folks, meet me again, Mr. Scary Exist. In this video, I'd like to tell you the true story. Don't you know that I can see them, but they can't see me? Only 1 out of 1,000 people had the experience to get in touch with me. Here is the story.
My name is Alex Turner, and for the past 6 months, I've been working the night shift as a security guard at Mercyville General Hospital. The halls echoed with the soft hum of fluorescent lights, and the air carried the sterile scent of antiseptic. Mercyville was like any other hospital, busy during the day but eerily quiet at night. One chilly October night, something changed. It started with a call from the nurses' station on the 5th floor. "Alex, we're getting some strange readings in room 507. Can you check it out?" The voice on the other end belonged to Sarah, one of the veteran nurses who had seen her fair share of odd occurrences during the graveyard shift. I sighed, reluctantly pulling myself away from the monotony of surveillance cameras and keycard swipes. "Sure, Sarah. I'll head up there now." As I approached the 5th floor, the atmosphere seemed to shift. The soft glow of overhead lights flickered, casting irregular shadows on the linoleum floor. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The air felt dense, as if I were wading through an invisible current. Room 507 stood at the end of the corridor, its door slightly ajar. I approached cautiously, the floor creaking beneath my every step. The room appeared unremarkable at first glance, a sterile environment with medical equipment neatly arranged. "Alex, over here." Sarah's hushed voice came from behind me. She stood near the bed, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and confusion. "Look at the monitors." I turned my attention to the heart rate monitor. The jagged lines danced across the screen in erratic patterns, as if the patient's heart was playing a discordant tune. I glanced at the empty bed, realizing there was no one in the room. "Did the patient code blue?" I asked, my voice low to match the gravity of the situation. "No, Alex. The patient passed away hours ago. This is something else." As Sarah spoke, the room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. A chill ran down my spine, and I felt a presence, an unseen force that lingered in the air like a silent specter. Suddenly, the heart rate monitor emitted a shrill beep, the sound cutting through the otherwise quiet room. The lines on the screen flattened, signaling a flat line. Yet, the eerie sensation in the air persisted. "Alex, we need to get out of here," Sarah whispered, her eyes darting nervously around the room. I nodded, my instincts urging me to retreat. As we left room 507, the door creaked shut behind us with an unsettling finality. The corridor, once bathed in the sterile glow of fluorescent lights, now seemed dimmer, as if the very essence of the hospital had shifted. Back at the nurses' station, Sarah and I exchanged worried glances. "I've been working here for over a decade, Alex. I've never seen anything like that," she admitted, her hands trembling as she reached for a cup of lukewarm coffee. The night wore on, and the hospital seemed to hold its breath. The monitors flickered intermittently, and strange noises echoed through the empty hallways. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had awakened in the quiet corners of Mercyville General. Around 3 a.m., a new incident unfolded. A security camera near the morgue captured unusual movements. I rushed to the monitors, my eyes widening as I saw a figure, indistinct and shadowy, drift through the hallways. It moved with an ethereal grace, passing through walls and closed doors as if unhindered by the physical world. I radioed for backup, my voice betraying a mix of urgency and disbelief. "This is Alex. I need someone to meet me at the morgue now." The response crackled through the radio. "On my way, Alex." As I approached the morgue, the air grew colder. The metallic scent of the morgue itself mixed with an underlying current of something unnatural. The figure, still present on the security camera feed, seemed to hover near the entrance. The backup arrived in the form of Officer Ramirez, a seasoned security guard with a no-nonsense demeanor. "What's going on, Alex?" he asked, his eyes narrowing as he observed the mysterious figure on the screen. "I don't know, Ramirez. It's like there's something in the hospital that shouldn't be here." We cautiously entered the morgue, the overhead lights flickering as if in response to our presence. The cold air seemed to settle in our bones, and I couldn't shake the feeling that unseen eyes were watching us. As we approached the spot where the figure had been captured on camera, a disembodied whisper filled the air. Ramirez tightened his grip on his flashlight, scanning the surroundings. "Did you hear that, Alex?" I nodded, my senses on high alert. The figure, once confined to the security camera feed, now materialized before us, a shadowy silhouette that seemed to defy the laws of physics. It swirled and contorted, its presence palpable in the frigid air. "Who are you?" Ramirez demanded, his voice echoing through the morgue. The figure remained silent, its form undulating like smoke. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and the lights in the morgue flickered out. In the darkness, the figure became more pronounced, its outline shimmering with an otherworldly glow. "Back away, Ramirez," I whispered, my instincts urging me to retreat. As we stepped back, the figure surged forward, passing through us like a chilling breeze. The morgue door swung open with an otherworldly force, and the figure dissipated into the hospital's shadows. Ramirez and I stood in the darkened morgue, our breath visible in the cold air. The hospital seemed to groan with a weight we couldn't comprehend. "We need to find out what's going on here, Alex," Ramirez said, his voice tinged with a mixture of determination and unease. In the following nights, the supernatural occurrences escalated. Strange symbols appeared on the walls, and eerie whispers echoed through the empty corridors. The hospital, once a place of healing, had become a battleground between the living and the spectral. One night, as I patrolled the eerily quiet maternity ward, I heard the soft cries of an infant. The nursery, empty at this hour, seemed to harbor an unseen presence. I cautiously approached, my footsteps muffled by the sterile linoleum floor. The cries intensified, echoing through the nursery like a lament. As I reached the crib, I saw a faint outline, a spectral infant, its form translucent and ethereal. The cries, both haunting and sorrowful, seemed to convey an unspoken tragedy. "Who are you?" I whispered, my voice barely audible over the spectral cries. In response, the figure dissipated, leaving behind an unsettling silence. The nursery, once a place of innocence, now felt tainted by the presence of something beyond the realm of understanding. The hospital staff, once indifferent to the supernatural, began to share their own encounters. Nurses reported seeing shadowy figures in patient rooms, and doctors spoke of inexplicable phenomena during surgeries. Mercyville General had become a haunted sanctuary, each hallway concealing secrets that defied explanation. One evening, as I patrolled the deserted psychiatric wing, I heard the faint strains of a piano. The sound, melodic and haunting, seemed to emanate from the day room. Intrigued and apprehensive, I followed the music. In the dimly lit day room, I saw her, a spectral woman seated at an old piano. Her fingers moved gracefully over the keys, producing a melody that resonated with both sorrow and beauty. Her eyes, hollow and melancholic, met mine as I entered the room. "Who are you?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The spectral woman, a patient from years past, spoke with a voice that seemed to echo from another time. "I never left this place, Alex. The hospital holds the echoes of my torment." She recounted her tragic tale, a tale of a misunderstood illness, misplaced treatments, and a life cut short within the confines of the psychiatric wing. Her spirit, unable to find peace, had lingered in the hospital, manifesting through the haunting melody of the piano. As the woman spoke, the hospital seemed to respond. Lights flickered, and the air became charged with an otherworldly energy. The psychiatric wing, once a realm of forgotten souls, became a stage for a supernatural encounter that transcended the boundaries of the living and the dead. I dedicated myself to unraveling the mysteries that plagued Mercyville General. Together with Ramirez and Sarah, we delved into the hospital's history, uncovering tales of medical experiments gone awry and the restless spirits of patients who had never found solace in death. In our pursuit of the truth, we faced malevolent entities that sought to keep their secrets hidden. Shadowy figures roamed the hospital's corridors, and the spectral cries of tormented souls echoed through the empty rooms. One night, as we delved into the hospital's archives, Ramirez stumbled upon a series of confidential documents. The revelations were chilling: unethical experiments, cover-ups, and a dark history that had been concealed from the public eye. "This place is a breeding ground for restless spirits," Ramirez said, his voice tense with anger. "We need to put an end to this." As we confronted the malevolent forces within the hospital, the spectral encounters intensified. The very walls seemed to groan with the weight of the past, and the hospital became a battleground between the living and the dead. In a climactic confrontation, we faced the malevolent entities that sought to keep their secrets buried. The hospital, once a place of healing, became a crucible of supernatural forces. The very air vibrated with an otherworldly energy as we fought to cleanse the hospital of its haunted legacy. In the final moments of our struggle, the hospital seemed to sigh with relief. The malevolent entities dissipated, and the oppressive atmosphere lifted. Mercyville General, once a haunted sanctuary, returned to a semblance of normalcy. As Ramirez, Sarah, and I stood in the now silent hospital, we couldn't shake the feeling that the echoes of the supernatural lingered in the air. The building, scarred by a dark history, stood as a testament to the enduring power of the unknown. In the aftermath of our ordeal, we shared a moment of reflection. "We did what we had to do," Ramirez said, his eyes weary but resolute. "The hospital may never be completely free of its past, but at least we gave those spirits a chance at peace." The hospital, though forever marked by the events that unfolded within its walls, resumed its role as a place of healing. The staff, now aware of the spectral history that lurked in the shadows, approached their duties with newfound respect for the mysteries that lingered beyond the realm of the living.